We treat our furry friends as full-fledged members of our families. So when we end up losing them, it brings us so much grief and heartache. How joyful are those long-awaited reunions of pets and their owners? Be sure to watch until the end, and don't hold your emotions back. If you're prone to getting especially teary-eyed, then definitely stock up on some tissues. Our emotional journey begins in Spartanburg, South Carolina. For 8 long months, this poor girl had been searching for home after getting lost. It's impossible to put these emotions into words, and this is what tears of true happiness looks like. We've already gotten used to how dogs can sometimes show their feelings for their owner in violent ways. That does make it quite interesting to be able to see how an entire herd of common-law elephants end up greeting their caretaker, Derek, after 14 months of being forcefully separated. Would you look at that? Those majestic creatures really seem to be so excited to see him. They just circle Derek on all sides, hoping to get his attention. Naturally, little capuchin monkeys aren't as restrained in their emotions as enormous elephants. This is the joy and happiness that Xander radiates whenever he meets his owner after being separated for a week. And this little girl, nicknamed Lambani, came to the Zoological Wildlife Foundation in a terrible state. She was only a few days old and already had advanced pneumonia. Her rescue was also made more complicated by 7 broken ribs. Look at how healthy she turned out. All thanks to this couple that had saved many baby chimpanzees before. These amazing reunions make even difficult months apart totally worth it. Next up is the story of a lost cat. How lucky they both were that some kind and caring people had helped get them back together. Look at him complain to his owner about all the hardships that he had to endure without her.
Oh my God.
Have you ever heard about how monkeys greet their owners? Listen to just how much cuteness that this animal tries to tell his owner with, and its welcoming cry. It's joy, sorrow, and pure happiness of seeing a beloved friend all wrapped up into one. It's been about a month since Monkey Boo last saw Ty and Craig. This little guy is incredibly happy to be reunited with his family.
Give me a headache.
Sure, it's cute when monkeys jump into your arms, but this kind of affection is something that not everyone can handle. Only this lioness, Sigra, doesn't understand that she's not a little kitten anymore, and she constantly asks her daddy for cuddles. And this goes on pretty much every morning. This next story could leave you feeling rather sad. This dog, Chattel, had been waiting for a year and a half to meet his owner, who had been put in the hospital all this time. His owner, who was an elderly man with vascular dementia, had realized that he could no longer take care of his pet. A brief moment of happiness is shared between them, as the dog hopefully opens the door where his owner was left in the wheelchair, and the tears just can't be held back. This was their last reunion. Fortunately, Chattel had found a new home where he will once again believe in selfless love. Onwards now to Liberia, where we're going to learn about the Liberia Chimpanzee Rescue and Protection Program and the lives of its resident chimpanzees. This is how Jenny and Jim meet their rescued chimpanzee, Poppy. This golden retriever keeps a close eye on the Marines coming home after a long deployment to meet their friends and family, and his patience had paid off. A storm of emotions and an invitation to get in the car and go back home. Next stop, homeward bound. The fellow spent 4 horrifying months wandering the streets. His hair was so matted that volunteers from the Critter Club had given him a haircut. Sapsel is safe now and back home where he belongs. They say that cats walk to their own, but these small cats from the Azerbaijan are the exception to the rule. Just look at how excited they are to meet their beloved owners and to be together with them. Let's take a trip down to Arlington, Texas, where here a lopsided pig wandered onto the garage of one of the city residents, which had surprised this man very much. He composed himself, though, and sheltered the animal. Throughout the police department's social networks, he was able to find the owner of the lost beauty. The pig's name is Bacon, and now Bacon has finally returned home. Mariana Weiss, a longtime student in Germany, is the owner of this 4-year-old dog, Star. If getting knocked down with emotion, licked, and then being asked for a tummy scratch isn't a display of joy from being reunited with its beloved owner, then I don't know what is. Let's move on to birds and their feelings. This pair has their own ritual whenever they meet, so it's touching to witness the grateful neck of a swan embracing its caretaker. Now we're going to disprove the belief that roosters are all brawn and no brain. Some of them can actually be very gentle with their owners. I mean, how else can you explain this incredible hug? It's not up for debate that even amongst their own, caregivers can end up playing favorites, just as pets have their favorite caregivers. Why else would this little one react so excitedly to meeting its caregiver? What is the most unusual gift that you found under the Christmas tree? Well, Daisy found someone that she didn't even expect to see that day. What a surprise!
Daisy! Daisy! Hi!
They say that you shouldn't change horses in the middle of a stream, but sometimes life drives even the most devoted of friends apart. This couple reunited after a year and a half of being forcefully separated, but the main thing is now that they're together. Here's another horse story for you. How much did these two have to go through to get attached to one another? This Frisian named Stell had helped a girl through a difficult period whenever she was a trainee with a breeder. While she was on summer vacation, the horse ended up being sold, and the new owners of the horse were so nice to arrange for these two soulmates to reunite. Back at the Zoological Wildlife Foundation in Miami with Lambani, the chimpanzee, we can see how she's enjoying drumming with her caretaker whenever they meet. This little baby doesn't just hint at its perfect pitch, she also tries out her vocals whenever meeting her guardians, brags about her achievements through her sprinting, and even her hugging skills. Another story about a monkey's attachment to man, where this guy here isn't even the monkey's caretaker, but rather his brother. Yet, Zeke understands the meaning of family and community. Do you have a dog? Let us know in the comments below how your dog greets you. But in the meantime, watch this German Shepherd dog named Teddy greet his master from his service in the Royal Navy. We're responsible for those that we've tamed, but sometimes it becomes impossible to take care of them. A few months of separation can seem like an eternity at times. This elderly owner loves her spaniel so much that she even decided to sit next to him on the floor. Shall we return to feral cats? Even these fearsome carnivores are familiar with human affection. This kind of the jungle is not even ashamed of its feelings. He scrambles to open the door with his paws, anxious to feel the scent of the loved one that he has. And just look at these lionesses. Certainly not everyone can endure such display of longing for their beloved guardian without training. Maybe the power behind this embrace was totally worth it. Sometimes the elements divide loving hearts, which is what had happened here during a tornado. Several hundred dogs and cats ended up in a shelter losing their homes, but fortunately, a few of them were reunited with their owners again, and now we're in the cemetery. This dog was hiding from the dangers of a world previously unknown to him. For 9 whole months, this little one was lonely and helpless. This dog was then stolen and abandoned, and for a whole year, his owner searched for her pet to no avail. Eventually, her search and faith were rewarded with a happiness tears of joy. In England, a woman was reunited with her pet 40 miles away from their home. And finally, an incredible pet reunion story. For 7 whole years, the owner never gave up hope of finding her cat. It's unbelievable, but this reunion did come to be. Do any of you guys have any pet reunion stories of your own? Let us know in the comment section down below, and also don't forget to like this video and hit the icon bell so that way you never miss out on more updates from us.